Good morning students, myself Santosh Pandit. Here I am going to elaborate you with the open elective subject Healthcare and Management System. Who saves a patient's life in ICU? Is it a doctor? No, there are various instruments like defibrillator, ventilator, infusion pumps, oxygen sensors. So from that we come to know that today hospital is not only medicine, today hospital is not only doctor, it's a integration of technology with doctor's experience. So here the healthcare and management system integrates whatever knowledge you gain from the engineering domain, you apply that knowledge in design and manufacturing of biomedical instruments for measuring the parameters of healthcare. So basically we will be focusing on integration of engineering domain for healthcare applications. Let's elaborate towards objective. Yes, now objective of healthcare and management systems will be focusing first on understanding the human functioning, anatomy and physiology of human body from engineering perspective point of view. Second, what are the disease that occurs? Basically, disease are the source from which the human body moves away from healthcare. So what are the source, what are the symptoms, and what are the remedial actions immediately to be taken for the disease? Once disease comes, then it causes the parameters to be changed, like ECG will change, your heart rate will change. So once parameter change, there should be someone who should measure that parameters. So instruments comes, ECG amplifier, EEG amplifier, EMG amplifier, all heart rate measurements, so all instruments comes. So from here we understand what are the working principles of the instruments. Then along with these basic instruments, there are some advanced biomedical instruments like MRI, CT scan, PET, robotic surgery, how they work. So a engineer should know how to operate the advanced biomedical instruments. After doing all this, one thing is coming, that is data. Once data comes, here the main thing comes, how to process the data, how to analyze the data, how to record the data, how to telemedicine the data, how to track the ambulance, and how to take precautionary actions. Before the patient comes to the hospital, the doctor should know what is the status and primary treatment given to the patient in ambulance, because today ambulance itself are acting as a small hospitals. So these will be the basic course objectives of the course. Now why to learn these subjects? Whenever a patient moves in a hospital, this is basically instruments plays a very important role. So first we need to understand which sensors plays an important role, how the data is been acquired, and how the data comes in the form of waveforms. For example, a flat ECG line indicates that the patient heart has stopped, and the live active ECG indicates that the patient is alive. So instrument and data are the basic main things which tells the health of a patient, and from that the doctor analyze what treatment to be given. So background for learning this subject is, today again I repeat, hospitals are not medicine, hospitals are not doctors, but it is the instruments along with the doctor and medicine plays an important role for curing the disease of a patient and moving towards the healthcare. So this is the background for learning this subject. So solving global health challenges, this is the issue. Now when the patient says, I have this problem, now this is acting as a challenge, and here we are going to learn the healthcare from engineering point of view to solve the problems faced by patients. Now course outcome. Again course outcome, first understand what is the body, how anatomy and physiology plays important role. Suppose I want to insert a sensor in my body, so I should know the dimensions of the part, then only I can put, because our body has got restrictions. I cannot pass 230 volts AC in my body. So I should know the anatomy and physiology. So first we will be functioning on anatomy and physiology. Second, it will be focusing on the disease. Disease comes, signal changes. Signal changes, it is tracked by sensor. Sensor gives signal to A to D converter, from it goes to controller, and here what AI comes into picture, artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence works in predictive maintenance, it works in adaptive control. Basically human body is a control system. So this predictive and adaptive both prepares one model, and from that model the direction is given to the doctor, and also some guidelines are given to the patient, so that in future this should not happen, or if it happens, what actions to be taken. So second course outcome will be focusing on the disease and what changes it makes. Third, once disease come, what is the role of the instrument? The role of the instrument is to generate graphs and records, and it generates alarms. So whenever alarm begins, it indicates that the abnormal conditions has happened. So working of the instruments is very important, along with the recording and analyzing the graphs. Fourth, there are some critical brain operations which still in India we are not having that success rate. So it's a need that we should go by robotic surgery. The tumors are to be tracked by robotic surgery. So understanding these advanced medical devices like MRI. In MRI, if the dose of the magnet and the RF changes, it creates huge tremendous changes in our body. Even the X-rays, the dose becomes more, there are chances the mutation may happen and it may lead to cancer. So operation and understanding the working principle of advanced medical devices like MRI, robotic surgery, PET, CT scan, defibrillator, pacemaker, ultrasonic imaging techniques are to be understood in course outcome 4. And fifth, it will be totally focusing on hospital management system, how the record is being generated, recorded, telemedicine, and from that how the analysis is done will be seen in from the course outcome 5. Let's move towards the content. Unit number 1, totally focus on the human system, heart, respiration, nervous system, muscular system, 5 senses. Unit number 2, what are the health problems? What heart faces the problem, brain faces the problem, eyes and ear, what are the problems, muscles, blood flow. Even if the bone fractures, then what were the reasons for the bone fracture? These all points are covered in unit number 2 in common health problems. Once problem comes, now it's the role of instruments. So unit number 3 will be totally focusing on instruments, working principle of ECG, BP, EEG, eye tools, ear tools, spirometer, EMG, blood flow meters, dialysis machines. So how the filtration happens in our body for removing the toxics. So it will be totally focusing on the working principle of the instruments. Then we move to unit number 4, in which advanced biomedical instruments will be focused, like digital X-ray, pacemaker, defibrillator, ventilator, ultrasound, imaging, CT scan, MRI, and robotic assisted surgery. So basically unit number 4 is very important because here we will be learning the advanced biomedical instruments in details. Then unit number 5, as discussed, unit number 5 totally focus on the hospital management system, in which how patient registration is done, how the electronic health record is been prepared, and what are the drawbacks of paper based record. Telemedicine. Now once an accident happens on a road, an ambulance comes and it puts the data from the road to the hospital. So doctor comes to know what is the status of the patient. Then how hospital software works, what IT systems, what are the role, ambulance tracking, how it is done. And here we will be focusing that how software plays an important role in getting the basic patient data on the road when a patient meets with accident. So benefits, definitely students will be enabling understanding the core concept of design of biomedical instruments along with advanced biomedical instruments. They will be able to analyze record, and they will be doing advanced research on getting the maximum data from the small inputs. Like if I take a digital image of our brain, from that even if the patient is the engineer is able to diagnose the tumor within seconds. So that proves the benefit of learning this subject. Conduction methodology, here we will be focusing on theory along with practicals. We have all types of practicals in which we measure ECG, EMG, EEG, respiration, heart rate, blood pressure. So all the instruments, with the help of all instruments we will be measuring all these parameters. Even audiogram we are performing in a hospital. So we have one hospital visit, and there we perform practicals on CT scan, MRI, digital X-ray, audiogram are performed in hospitals. Tutorials, expert sessions, and visit to Dr. Vasantrao Power Medical College, Hospital and Research Center we will be doing. Also we could study some case studies. From that we tell students how the research work is going on in healthcare. Yeah, I think summing up point will be, here we will be focusing on understanding body, how disease are being generated, how disease are measured by instruments, how instruments works, what are the advanced biomedical instruments, and how the data is processed, recorded, and analyzed for getting the body information and moving towards healthcare. After all, health is wealth. Thank you.